You felt it before. That magnetic pull some men seem to have. They walk into a room, and suddenly, every woman's eyes shift toward them without a word spoken. But here's the part that stings. You've likely crossed paths with her. She smiled, played with her hair, then glanced away just as your eyes met. You told yourself, she's just being polite. It's nothing. But what if that moment wasn't random? What if she was drawn to you, but you lacked the 6 invisible traits that flip attraction from curiosity into obsession? Most guys never realize this, but after today, you will dot if you've ever sensed that fleeting moment of connection, but didn't know what to do next. Drop a G in the comments. Stay till the end for the final, most powerful trait. You're at a rooftop party. The music's low, the sky's glowing orange as the sun disappears behind the skyline. Laughter bubbles up from small groups, drinks in hand, easy smiles. But then she sees him. He's leaning against the edge of the balcony, alone, quiet. He's not talking to anyone. He's not trying to get attention. No animated gestures, no loud bursts of storytelling. Just still, present. And she can't stop looking. Not because he's the loudest guy in the room, but because he isn't. He takes a sip of his drink, scanning the space slowly, unhurried, unbothered, not looking for approval, just watching, grounded, like he belongs everywhere and nowhere at once. She shifts slightly to get a better view, subtly inching into his line of sight. He doesn't even glance at her. That's when it happens. Curiosity. Why isn't he trying? Why isn't he noticing her? What's he thinking about? Is he bored? Mysterious? Dangerous? Safe? This is the first secret most men completely overlook. Because we're taught from day one, impress her. Show her how smart you are, how funny, how accomplished. Share stories. Be vulnerable. Make her feel comfortable. But here's the raw truth. Comfort doesn't spark desire. Curiosity does. The moment you reveal everything about yourself, your job, your routines, your thoughts on last week's trending topic, you kill mystery. You make yourself predictable. And predictable men don't stir the feminine nervous system. They don't make her wonder, who is this guy? You might think you're being cold. You might even feel like you're failing socially because you're not performing like the others. But she doesn't see cold. She sees control. She sees mystery. And mystery is magnetic. Most guys spill their life story in 10 minutes flat. He doesn't. And that's exactly why she leans in. Here's the thing about feminine attraction. It isn't logical. It's emotional. Instinctual. Subconscious. A woman might not even know why she's pulled toward you. But when you create that space, when you leave just enough of yourself unrevealed, she fills in the blanks with imagination. And the story she tells herself is always more compelling than the one you could have told her. It's not about being aloof or playing games. It's about staying rooted, calm, knowing your value without shouting it. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to observe, to feel, to choose who's worth revealing yourself to. And that mindset alone flips the power dynamic completely. So, next time you're in a conversation and she asks you a question, try this. Answer simply. Then pause. Don't rush to fill the silence. Don't nervously explain more. Let her feel the space between your words. Let her wonder what you're not saying. That pause, that beat of silence, that's where the real tension lives. That's where intrigue is born. And you're the kind of man who understands that now. Most guys will keep talking. You'll be the one she can't stop thinking about. Imagine this. You're inside a packed bar. It's loud, chaotic. The kind of place where every conversation feels like it's competing with the bass thumping through the walls. Guys are yelling over each other, trying to outdo one another with wild stories, louder laughs, bigger gestures. And then, there's him. He's seated at the corner of the bar, One hand wrapped casually around his drink, his body relaxed, shoulders back, head slightly tilted as he listens. He doesn't shout. He doesn't flinch. He just speaks slowly, softly, as if he already knows people will lean in to hear him. And they do. Even she does. It's almost unfair how naturally it happens. She finds herself pulling closer, not because she can't hear him, but because something about his energy feels different. Steady, safe, solid. Here's the hidden truth most men don't understand. Women aren't drawn to men who command rooms with volume or flashy stories. They're drawn to men who remain calm under pressure. It's biological. It's ancient. Thousands of years ago, when survival depended on sharp instincts, a man who stayed calm in the face of danger was the one. Others followed. He didn't panic. He didn't overreact. He observed. He responded. That wiring hasn't changed. When you stay grounded, especially in tense or stimulating environments, you send a subconscious signal. I'm in control here. Most guys think they need to show up big to get noticed. They fake bravado, raise their voice, exaggerate their confidence. But she sees through that instantly. Calm isn't something you perform. It's something you become. And here's where it gets interesting. Moment you relax, your body language changes. Your breathing slows. Your gestures become intentional. Your words carry more weight, simply because you're not fighting for attention. She notices it's subtle. Maybe she glances at you from across the room and feels that strange pull. Or maybe she finds herself smiling at your steady, deliberate pace, curious why you're so unaffected by the noise around you. It almost feels unfair to the guys trying too hard. But it's not about unfairness. It's about instinct. You don't need to overpower the room. You just need to stay rooted inside yourself. That's your edge. And here's a simple way to start. Building it right now. Next time you feel yourself getting tense, whether it's in a conversation, a social event, or even on a date, pause for a moment and focus on your breath. Slow it down. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your feet grounded on the floor. Let the tension melt away from your shoulders. Then speak, not to impress, but to connect. Watch how she leans in. She won't even realize she's doing it, but you will, because you're becoming the kind of man most guys never even notice. It's funny, isn't it? How easily we fall into the trap of approval seeking. You meet her. She's beautiful. She flashes that intoxicating smile. Instantly, you feel it. The urge to agree with everything she says, to nod along, to compliment her every 5 seconds. You think, if I'm nice enough, maybe she'll like me. But here's the uncomfortable truth. She's heard it all before. She's used to guys bending over backward, offering compliments like candy, trying desperately to earn her attention. And honestly, she's bored of it. Now picture this. You're at a cozy little cafe. She's across from you, stirring her overpriced oat milk latte, telling you about her weekend trip to some trendy spot everyone's obsessed with. She expects you to nod, to validate her, to react like every other guy who's desperate to impress. But instead, you lean back, raise an eyebrow, and smirk. Oat milk? Wow, so brave, you tease. A playful glint in your eye. She freezes for a split second, then bursts out laughing. That moment? That's the difference between being forgettable and being magnetic. Here's why. Women don't chase men who put them on pedestals. They chase men who challenge them, gently, playfully, but firmly. It's not about being rude or disrespectful. It's about showing her you're not intimidated, you're not dazzled, you're amused, and you're willing to call her out because you're already secure in yourself. This flips the dynamic entirely. Suddenly, you're the prize. You're the adventure. You're the guy who won't just fall into line. And that's intoxicating. To her, she's used to being pursued. But now, she's the one leaning in. eager to prove herself to you. Here's the key. Challenge her with warmth, with humor, with curiosity. Don't belittle her. Don't be cruel, but don't be afraid to. Tease her. To disagree. To make her work for your approval. Next time she tells a story, listen closely. Then playfully push back. That's your wildest story? I expected more. Smile as you say it. Keep it light. Let the tension dance between you. Watch how her eyes light up. That spark you'll see? That's her being pulled out of autopilot. You're not like the others, and she can feel it. It happens in the quiet moments. You're sitting across from her in a dimly lit restaurant. Candlelight flickers between you, casting soft shadows across her face. The air is thick with something unspoken. She's talking, laughing, playing with the rim of her glass. And then you lock eyes. Not aggressively. Not staring her down like some social assassin, but calmly, steadily. You're just there, fully present. Looking right into her. She stumbles over her words. Her hand instinctively reaches for her necklace, fingers fidgeting, twirling, anything to distract from the heat creeping up her neck. You're not saying a word, but your eyes are. Most men are terrified of this moment. They avoid it. They glance away. They break eye contact too soon, afraid of what it might reveal or what it might stir. They think holding eye contact is too intense. Or worse, creepy. But here's what they don't realize. Eye contact is the oldest language on earth. Before words, before gestures, before social scripts, we had eyes. And the way you look at her speaks louder than anything you could ever say. When you hold her gaze, not in a needy, please like me way, but in a calm, grounded, I see you way, you awaken something primal inside her. It's not about dominance. It's about presence. You're showing her you're not afraid to truly see her and to let her see you. That's terrifying for most men, but not for you, because you understand now this isn't a trick. It's not a tactic. It's a reflection of your inner calm. You're steady enough to handle the tension. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The longer you hold her gaze, the more her body responds before her mind catches up. Her breathing changes. Her pupils dilate. She might smile nervously or bite her lip. Without even realizing it. It's automatic. That's how deep this goes. Here's your challenge. Next time you're talking to her, whether it's a date, a casual chat, or even a chance encounter, hold her gaze just a little longer than feels natural. Not in a frozen serial killer way. Soft, steady, relaxed. And as you do, allow the slightest hint of a smile to tug at the corner of your mouth. That micro smirk, it says everything. It says, I'm enjoying this. It says, I'm not afraid of this connection. It says, I already know where this is headed. And she'll feel it before she even knows why. There's a moment every man remembers. That moment when you're telling a story, and halfway through, you realize no one's really listening. They're distracted, checking their phones, politely, smiling, but clearly somewhere else. And in that instant, you start to shrink. You wrap up your story quickly, laugh nervously, and promise yourself you'll be more interesting next time. But then, there's him, the man who doesn't care who's listening. Picture this. He's at a small gathering, friends, strangers. Low music playing in the background. He's mid-story, voice animated, eyes sparkling, laughing before he even reaches the punchline. And here's the twist. He's not laughing at his story. He's laughing because he's genuinely amused by it. He's in his own world, reliving the moment, enjoying himself so much that it spills over into the room. And slowly, something magical happens. Others start laughing too. First his friends, then people who don't even know him. Even she, the woman across the room who barely noticed him before, finds herself smiling, drawn in by the sheer infectiousness of his energy. And here's the secret he's unlocked. Women and people in general are addicted to self-generated fun. Most men are waiting for permission to enjoy themselves. They need external validation, audience reactions, social proof. But the man who creates his own fun, he's rare. He's magnetic because he doesn't need the room to react. He is the room. This isn't about being the funny guy or putting on an act. It's deeper than that. It's about self-amusement. It's about finding genuine joy in your own stories, your own jokes, your own moments, whether anyone else gets it or not. That energy, it's irresistible because it signals something powerful. You're not chasing their approval. You're already full. And in a world where everyone's starving for external validation, that's intoxicating. She feel it. She watch. You laugh, play, enjoy yourself, and she want to be part of it because fun is contagious. But detached fun, that's lethal. Here's a little social experiment for you. Next time you tell a story, whether it's with friends, on a date, or even in a group laugh before anyone else reacts. Not in a forced way. Not in an over-the-top way. Just chuckle softly to yourself. Let your own amusement show first. You'll notice something fascinating. Suddenly, others relax. They laugh too. The pressure melts away. And she see a man who doesn't care, who laughs, because he's already having fun. That's rare. That's captivating. And the best part? You'll actually start enjoying yourself more, not because of others, but because you've tapped into the purest form of confidence. There is self-amusement. You've just unlocked another secret most men never even knew existed. Leadership isn't loud. It isn't aggressive. It isn't about barking orders or dominating conversations. Real leadership, the kind that draws people in, the kind women instinctively recognize, happens in the subtle, quiet details. Picture this. It's late. The group's been hanging out for hours, laughing, drinking, chatting. But now, there's that awkward lull. The energy's dipping. Everyone's waiting for someone to decide what's next. And then, without hesitation, he stands up. All right, he says casually, with a small grin. Let's hit that new spot down the street. Way better vibe. He doesn't ask for votes. He doesn't seek approval. He just decides. And before anyone even thinks to object, the group starts moving. Even. She follows without hesitation. Here's the thing most guys miss. Women are hardwired to spot subtle leaders. It's primal, subconscious, because leadership isn't about being bossy. It's about certainty. It's about making decisions smoothly, confidently, and without hesitation, even in small, everyday moments. Ordering food without second-guessing. Choosing a seat without scanning for approval. Leading conversations with curiosity and direction, instead of just reacting passively. These tiny behaviors add up. And here's where it gets even more interesting. She's not consciously analyzing your leadership qualities. She's feeling it. Her body, her nervous system, her instincts, they respond to certainty like moths to a flame. Because deep down, every woman is scanning for one thing: safety. Not just physical safety, but emotional, psychological safety. She's wondering, can he handle life? Can he handle me? And leadership answers that question without words. You might think you need to ask her what she wants, or be super accommodating to show respect. But here's the truth. She doesn't want a dictator. But she also doesn't want a man who can't take charge. She wants a man who moves through life with intention. A man who leads gently but firmly. Who can hold space for others, but also knows when to step in and guide. And when she senses that, she relaxes. She trusts. She follows. Not because you forced her, but because your energy made her want to. Here's something to try. Next time you're out with friends, or even just with her, be the one who suggests the next step. Don't wait for consensus. Don't over-explain. Simply say, Let's go here. You'll love it. Smile. Say it like it's obvious. Like it's already done. And watch what happens. Most of the time, they'll follow because you're not seeking approval. You're offering direction. And here's the kicker. Even if they don't follow your lead every time, it doesn't matter, because what they'll remember is that you were willing to lead, and that energy, that quiet, unshakable leadership, it sticks. It lingers. It separates you from every other guy in the room. Women are wired to spot it. And now, you've got it. Here's the part no one tells you. This isn't about tactics. It's not about playing games, memorizing lines, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about remembering. Remembering the man you were before the world taught you to shrink, before you were told to seek approval, to tone it down, to play it safe, to be nice. Before you started second-guessing your instincts, you were born with these traits. Mystery.calm.challenge.I contact.self-amusement.leadership. They were in you all along. But somewhere along this way, self-doubt crept in. You started worrying about what others thought. You started hiding parts of yourself. You started playing small, but deep down, you've always known there's more to you. That version of you, the grounded, magnetic, unstoppable version, he's been waiting for you to stop searching outside yourself, waiting for you to remember. So here's the emotional breakthrough. Don't need to become someone else. You need to uncover yourself. You need to strip away the layers of fear, of hesitation, of people-pleasing, until all that's left is the man who leads without trying, who laughs without permission, who connects without fear. That man, he doesn't need tricks. He is the trick. And the best part? You can start today. Pick one of these 6 traits. Just one. Focus on it for the next 7 days. Practice it in your daily life, not to get women, but to feel the shift inside yourself. Speak less. Reveal less. Stay calm when others panic. Playfully challenge instead of blindly validating. Hold steady, grounded. Eye contact. Laugh at your own stories first. Lead decisively, gently, unapologetic ally. Do that for 7 days. And you'll see something change, not just in how women respond to you, but in how you see yourself. Because these traits aren't about dating. They're about power. Self-power. And the moment you fully embody them, everything else follows. You've been him all along. It's time you remembered. Speak less. Reveal less. Create mystery. Stay calm in all situations. Silence is power. Playfully challenge her. Don't pedestal IZE. Lock in deep, steady eye contact. Let her feel it. Laugh at yourself first. Enjoy your own company. Lead subtly. Decide, then move. Screenshot this list. Pick one to focus on today. Watch how fast your energy shifts.